Hello everybody and welcome to KimmelsIrishPub.com. It's time for another movie review, and tonight we're going to do a Netflix original called To the Bone. So it's great. That's a great thing about Netflix. They are now releasing their own movies, if you don't know that already. So if there's nothing out on Blu-ray or on DVD or on DirecTV, you can always check out Netflix and find something to watch. This one is starring Lily Collins and Keanu Reeves. And it's about a young woman who has anorexia who meets a doctor that will help her face her condition. That's basically the synopsis of the movie. I don't know any more than that. I'm going to start watching it here in a couple of minutes. It's not normally a movie I would pick, but I think doing movie reviews, I have to step outside of my comfort zone and watch all kinds of movies. So I think this deals with a real problem in in our lives today. And it stars two great actors. Keanu Reeves from, remember Point Break, when I remember seeing that, and I thought to myself, wow, Keanu Reeves, he's not the greatest actor, but boy, did he turn out to be one of the greatest actors and one of the greatest people, too. If you don't know a lot about Keanu Reeves, you should look him up and see what he's all about. He's one of the most humble guys in all of Hollywood. So it's great. And Lily Collins is a great actress in her own. So I have some high expectations, although I think it's going to be a very emotional movie, but I think it's going to be worth watching. So stick around, watch it with me, and I'll check in from time to time. Okay, early check-in on this one. It is the 9-minute and 32-second mark. Again, it's about a girl who struggles with anorexia. She has been kicked out of the last help center she was in for being disrespectful and disobedient, and has returned home to where her father and I guess stepmother and half-sister live. And originally the question always for a lot of people is, why do they become anorexic? And from what I've heard, personal experience, not a doctor, don't know anything about it, so don't. But I felt that some people felt that they weren't beautiful enough, and so this is one step to become more beautiful. Was the only thing that I've ever heard, and it was presented in the movie already. Her half-sister asked her, why do you do it? And she evades the answer, so she doesn't really answer the question. So it's interesting. She's also believes that she has it under control and everything's okay. We're only 9 minutes into the movie, 9 minutes and 32 seconds, but that's what we know so far. Pretty heavy topic right now, so I'll continue to check in, but I wanted to share that with you, that I don't think it's because she doesn't think that she's beautiful, which I think is the common thought. They have her weighing in to see what her weight is. She had to take her shirt off, and she takes a picture of her stepmom and says, do you think you're beautiful? And she says no. So I don't think that's maybe the reason. I mean, obviously there's other things that go into play here, and I just want to stop in and check in right here. We'll see how it goes, and I'll check in a little bit. Hey everybody, do a quick check-in here. We're watching the Netflix original To the Bone with Lily Collins and Keanu Reeves, and it is at the 44-minute and 5-second mark in the movie. And basically she has joined a group home with other people who suffer from eating disorders, whether it's bulimia or anorexia or anything along those lines. So it's 6 girls and 1 boy in the room, and the doctor is Keanu Reeves, as you can imagine, or at least what I talked about a little bit earlier. So very interesting to exploring their struggles with the disease, as well as their interactions between each other. How they what you can tell is going to happen is they're going to start working together to try and comfort each other and help each other over the hard parts and things like that. So 44 minutes into it, one of the things I wanted to bring up, which I think is astonishing, is what these actors do to get into these roles. So they transform their bodies. I mean, I don't think it's CGI. I think like Lily Collins has really lost all this weight to be this character in this movie, and I think so have the other actors. So it's amazing what they go through just to put a movie on for us to entertain us, and also educate us about this condition that a lot of people go through. So very educational so far, and very emotional. And I'm going to continue watching it here, and then I'll check back in a little bit. Alright, one last check-in before we get to the final credits. We're at the 1 hour, 29 minute, and 25 second mark. And I thought I'd stop it right here. The plot is still the same. There's not much has changed. About a girl in her 20s dealing with eating disorder, and has been in a group home or a home with other people with eating disorders, and how they're dealing with it and their struggles and everything along those lines. The reason I stopped it here was because it just dawned on me now. This girl who, as I mentioned in the beginning, had left a facility she was in before and returned home to her stepmom and half-sister and where her father lives, and evidently her mother lives in Phoenix. And I don't think I'm giving a spoiler away, but so far we're an hour and 29 minutes into this film and we still have not seen the father. So, I think obviously a big thing in these type of situations is the support, and the support you receive from your family. And the fact that her father has not appeared in this movie is kind of amazing in a bad way. As a father myself, if you've seen any of my reviews or any of the fantasy football, you've seen little Bo here, or Quinn, and I also have another daughter. So I have two daughters, and hopefully they don't have these same kind of conditions when they grow up or anything like that. But I know whatever, at least I hope, as they grow old and any troubles that they get into, or any help that they need support from, I'm hoping I will be there for them. I mean, I fully plan on being there for them, and that is my intent, and I would never let my daughter struggle like this. Even if there's not anything you can do, just being there and being supportive, I think is very important. So, a little disappointing, but I think that's part of the point of the movie. But something I wanted to point out real quick because it came to mind as I'm watching this, and I'll check back in at final credits and see how this all pans out. But that's it for now. So now it's the credits of To the Bone. Not an easy movie to watch. Not something that I would, again, normally pick. Very educational. I know it's a fictional movie, but it really gets you to think a little bit more. Obviously, I don't know much about eating disorders at all. I know some people that have suffered from eating disorders. And my common misconception about, maybe they just want to feel beautiful or something tragic happened in their life. And the character in this movie basically illustrates that she's not sure why she has an eating disorder. And nobody gives a real explanation onto why in the movie, and I think that's true in real life, that, there are things that, it's a condition, and there is no silver bullet to say, oh, okay, this is what caused it, and this is how we fixed it. And one of their fears, at least illustrated in the movie, was that if she starts eating, she'll be afraid she'll never stop, and she'll get so big that they have to airlift her out of her bed or something like that. So I'm sure that is a fear for many people with eating disorders, and it's not sure why they have this condition. So again, I don't know anything about it. I'm just giving my opinion from the movie, and what I think. One thing anybody can do in this type of situation is just provide as much support as possible and be there for the person in any way that they need. Not be like the father in this movie, who was absent throughout the entire movie. Never saw the father. So again, tough movie to watch. Very educational, very emotional. No action, not a lot of humor. But in the end, I think I'm probably going to rate it a 7. 1 second, I'm going to probably rate it a 7 overall. Good message in the movie, good good acting, I thought. Keanu Reeves, as usual, was very good. Lily Collins. Leslie Bibb was also in the movie. I failed to mention that earlier. I didn't realize it until watching it. You might know her from Skulls. I know that was an older movie. She was also in The League on TV for a while, amongst other movies, I think, or TV shows that she was in. But again, I'm going to go with a 7. I'm not going to dwell on this review much further. I think it's a good movie to watch for awareness, not so much for entertainment. But if you want to learn a little bit more about eating disorders or things like that, I think it's a good movie to learn a little bit more about the emotions that go into eating disorders and what people deal with. So, sorry for the serious tone on this movie review. Tomorrow night we'll go over, hopefully find a movie with a little bit more uplifting message, maybe some comedy, some actions, things like that. But that's it for tonight. Maybe you learned a little something you liked. You'll decide if you want to watch this movie or not by listening to this review. And as I always say, if you like the movie, hit like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time for another movie review. Thank you.